So this week I took the liberty of going back and playing one of my old favorite courses, Rock Harbor in Winchester, Virginia. And this was more of just a sort of a casual, non-long drive, non-expensive weekend. I mean, it's not easy, not cheap to play Rock Harbor on the weekends. It's more like $85 on a weekend before 1:30. I think they don't even let people out after 1:30 anymore for 18. But anyway, so I had a bunch of things I wanted to check out. I got a bunch of shafts updated, double checked the length, make sure they were all the same. Got my Titleist clubs fitted, got my TaylorMades fitted, and I really just kind of wanted to see, not really fitted, I would say optimized, let's put it that way. I just wanted to kind of take a data point to see where I was in my game development. Put a lot of time into my drivers and try to improve my driving, because Rock Harbor has, the Boulder course has such challenging long drives that it's something I've been working on at that course for probably about a year now, if not slightly more. I just realized from the back tees that there's some shots in that course that I just really couldn't do anything other than make a mess of them, let's put it that way. And so this time went out. It was supposed to rain all weekend. It did not. Saturday, the forecast was for thunderstorms in the DC area, and it was kind of nasty on this side of the Appalachians, but going west onto 81 and then out to Winchester was pretty nice. Beautiful day, nice clouds. You can see the storms, building up in the distance, but they never really came over the course. So it was a wonderful day. Got there early. I played an early round. I usually don't play before noon, but I did this time. Got on the course at 11:30. After an hour and a half drive out there, not too early. The traffic was good. There's only a little bit of the drive out there that was raining, and most of it was really nice. In other words, it was a really nice round. I had a lot of success with a lot of the shots I was taking. All my drives were on point. Hit every long drive that's been bothering me for a long time. Hit them all. And it was only like the occasional tightness that I felt for the first few holes, because I wasn't quite warmed up, wasn't quite firing on all cylinders, and I would miss maybe every fourth or fifth shot would not quite turn out the way I wanted it to be. But all in all, I was pretty happy, except for one thing, and this is what this video is really about. I just think I have just reached my limit with this people playing music in their carts bullshit. I think it's just gotta be dealt with. I really don't like to start shit with people on a golf course, and so when I deal with people who want to play music in their cart, like this stupid jet. So anyway, I was saying, had a really good round for the most part. Hit a lot of good shots. Hit a couple of surprising shots. I will tell you that being able to play a 3-wood off the deck is a good talent to have on a golf course, especially a 7,200 yard slope 145 golf course. And I picked that up over the last month. Got all my drives in play. Everything was looking good. But I was still missing like the occasional fourth or fifth shot, and I realized over the course of a round where I was having this problem, what was coming and causing this problem, and I realized it, and I have to explain one more thing to make this make sense. So when we started this round, I was playing as a single, and I got paired up with a guy and his son in a cart, and so we got on the first tee. And this kid immediately turns on this stereo, this music or boombox, whatever you want to call it, in the cart. Just turns it on, right? And so we play the first hole, second hole, you know, third hole, I started feeling like this little bit of grating feeling. Fourth hole, still kind of grating a little bit, and it's just this build up. Fifth hole, and it was really kind of a hard thing to really say, but I did eventually kind of put two and two together, where I realized I wasn't happy with this kid playing music in the cart, but I wasn't happy confronting them about it either, because he didn't ask me if I minded. He just turned it on, and it wasn't like it was low occasionally, you know, like he was the only one who could hear, or someone right next to the car was here. I could hear it clear, you know, it was fairly loud. It wasn't booming loud, but it was still fairly loud. And the other thing about it is that it just, every time they rolled up to my cart, where I was out of my cart and about to hit a shot, this music would suddenly come rushing on, you know, like, and they're playing this country music and all this stuff, and it's not like, you know, like the tape. Maybe they were playing a tape at the time, but at some point it was a tape, and at some point it was an actual radio station they were playing. So one of the things I also noticed was, not only was the song somewhat loud and country, okay, and he'd have one song on the radio and then it would just suddenly change, which is disconcerting. You know, you're on the tee and the guy's 15 feet from you, or you're on the green and the cart's 15 feet from you, or you're in the fairway and the cart's right behind yours, 15 feet from you, you know. And so not only is it that they rolled up behind me and I could hear this sudden rush of music while I'm trying to set up for my shot, you know, but also the song would change, you know, at random times. And then you know, later on in the round, it started to become like, you'd hear these commercials, you know, instead of music. It's like, oh, you know, we're talking about blah, blah, blah. And it's a sort of mattress sale, XYZ, blah, blah. Call this number or visit our website at www.sertamattress.com. And I'm going, you know, it just got to the point where it was building up and building up and building up. But the number one thing I realized is he didn't ask me if I minded him playing the music until like the sixth hole. Okay, we were well into the front side before he even asked me if I minded it. The second thing is, we were basically out there by ourselves, the two of us, until the 12th hole. So the only person who was being bothered by this music was me. The guy's father, who was riding with him, apparently didn't mind. The son, you know, just perfectly happy with it and all this kind of stuff. But I just kept noticing over and over and over and over again that every time I was getting ready to hit a shot, every time I was getting ready to hit a putt, every time I was getting a chip, every time I was getting ready to drive, that this guy would drive up behind me with this cart playing this music. And it did get to be annoying. Then I started getting annoyed at the fact that I didn't want to talk to them about it, because I didn't want to start an issue with them about it. But I'm not talking to them about their music, but they didn't bother talking. And so what is it? That's like a neutral push for them, right? Because they get to listen to their music. Nobody complains. Nobody says anything about it. And everything is fine in their opinion. Or else they just don't give a shit one way or the other. They're going to play it anyway. And what I'm worried about is the latter part, where the guy doesn't really give a damn what other people think about him playing the music. He's going to play what he wants to play anyway. Yeah, maybe he might have turned it off if I had asked him to, but maybe he might have decided just to turn it down, thinking it wouldn't be as much of a problem if it was half volume instead of full volume. The problem is I'm trying to concentrate on some shots. I am in no mood to hear somebody playing a country western song in the background while I'm trying to play. Zero. No mood at all whatsoever. And then something occurred to me. On the 12th hole, We went down to a hole on Rock Harbor on the Boulder course where there's two greens kind of, you know, tied together at the top, the 12th hole. And on this particular round, the pin for the rightmost hole was in the center at the top where the two were tied together, and the pin for the leftmost hole was in the front of the left, at the extreme left front corner of the green. So I had a perfect shot. My drive was out to the right, and I had a perfect line right to that pin. And I saw those other people, there were foursome coming up from the right, playing the other hole, which I think is like number 11 on no, it's like 13 on the rock course. There's a boulder course, and then there's a some other course, I forget what it's called, the rock course, boulder course, whatever. One's the boulder course and the other is the rock course. It's some weird thing they have. I almost never played a course, but anyway. Point is that you got a par 4 and a par 3, where the par 3 comes from the right and par 4 comes to the left. And so there was a foursome playing on that right-hand green, and they were chatting it up a little bit and everything. So I could hear them talking while I drove my cart up to the green. And in this hole, the cart path goes way up, like about 6 or 7 feet above the green on the left. So my cart is up there. I'm walking down to the green. I can hear them talking. Guys are talking and chatting and have a good time. But I can't hear any music because the guys that I was playing with were still out in the fairway, chipping up. I could hear their music a little bit, but not really a lot. That changed dramatically when they drove up behind my cart. And suddenly they were 6 feet above 5 other people trying to play those 2 holes. And their music was just, it was like an amphitheater, just like you were at like a concert hall. And here we are trying to putt out on 2 greens. And we're listening to this music play because one guy wants to hear the music and didn't have enough sense when he got to that point to turn his stereo off so that the people who were putting 20 feet at most from him could putt in peace. And at that point, it just really hit me. Why is it that playing music from your cart is any different than talking while people are on a tee or while they're putting? What's the difference? What's the difference? Or talking while they're trying to hit shots in the fairway. It's even worse than that. You are playing music while they're trying to play golf. And if you aren't rude enough to talk to them or talk to your friends or talk to whatever while they're playing shots, then why would you be rude enough to play music in your cart while people are trying to play? What is the problem? And this kind of gets back to my whole thing with people who do this are just fucking rude. They're just fucking rude. And this is exactly the kind of person I don't want to deal with. I don't come out to play golf. I don't pay $90 plus the gas to drive out to a golf course to deal with a bunch of rude assholes on a golf course. I don't care whether it's somebody walking around the course. I don't care whether it's someone jogging on the course, out there with their kids, out there with their kites, out there with their dogs. I don't give a fuck. I don't come out there to play golf to deal with rude ass people. Or people driving by the course honking their horns, or driving by the course with their trucks fucking blaring, or whatever. This is not the first time this has happened to me where I've said, man, I fucking just do not want to hear this shit. But this guy was in my own group. Okay? In my own group. Not the first time that's happened, but it's going to be the last time if I have anything to do about it. I'm not playing golf with any asshole who even turns on his fucking stereo. The next fucking time somebody plays, or I'm playing and they put me up with somebody who turns on the stereo, I'm like, I'm just gonna go back and wait off the tee. I said, no, I'm not playing with anybody playing with music in their carts. It's just not gonna happen. There's gotta be some way to deal with this where you don't have to worry about a confrontation with these rednecks or these fucking homeboys or whatever who want to play all this stupid ass fucking music. It's one thing if the music is okay. It's another thing if it's some dumbass shit that nobody really wants to hear anyway. Or some other redneck maybe wants to hear, or some other black guy wants to hear it. Maybe, and that's a different story. I guarantee you, most people don't come to a golf course to sit there and listen to somebody playing fucking music in their cart while they're trying to play golf. I don't know why fucking courses even tolerate this shit. But it's just gotten to the point where it's just out of control, in my opinion, to be quite honest. And they're going to say, well, you know, tell them to turn it down, blah, blah. I said, look, I don't want to deal with anybody who would do it. That's the issue. I don't want to deal with anybody who would do shit like this. I don't care why they think it's okay. It's not okay to just go on a golf course and play music out of your cart from your phone or whatever is bullshit. It is golf, not people hanging around a fucking city pool or around your house having a barbecue. It's a golf round. And if people can't understand the difference, that doesn't mean anything to them. I don't want to do anything on a golf course with these people. I've just gotten to the end of my rope with it.